Plumber has been wilding out lately. All he cares about is running the fade. Surely you've seen these viral Zeus Network clips of him running the fade with everyone, including a corn star who was later unalived. More recently, he tried to run the fade with Ray J's security guard and got spat on.
Get up on my face, man. You wanna come squat?
Ooh.
He fought with some girl on a dating show and then slapped her man.
No.
Look, Aaron's even running the fade with the solo cut.
We'll say,
oh shit.
But as hilarious and entertaining as this new internet meme is, there's a very dark side to this brolic Ninja Turtle. If you haven't been paying attention, don't worry. We're gonna do a deep dive and go through everything from the very beginning, and you have a lot to be excited about because it's gonna be a wild ride. And before we do, an obvious disclaimer, everything in this video is alleged and speculative. These are all opinions formed based on what we're seeing on the internet. Now, if you don't know Aaron, he's this plumber from Stockton who went super viral for keeping it real with a bunch of unqualified young ladies on a Pop the Balloon show.
you're not qualified, baby. So that's all good.
We'll dive a little deeper into Pop the Balloon and the aftermath of his appearance in a second. But before we delve into all the juicy beefs, let's talk a little about who Aaron is. Aaron grew up in a poverty-stricken area in Stockton, California. He was the oldest of 5, 3 sisters, 1 brother. The way Aaron describes it, his mom was doped up and his dad wasn't around. So he was raised by the streets and he got into all sorts of trouble.
I was a gangster. I was active in the streets. I was hustling, selling drugs, you feel me? And allegedly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I don't think that works when you're the one alleging it. So anyway, allegedly, Aaron was doing some gang banging, drug dealing, a little bit of pandering. Turns out, Aaron was looking at 30 years in the slammer for pandering, which is like pimping soft cousin. Like a pimp gives the backhand, but the panderer has a sweeter approach. I know he ugly, but suck it, queen. We gonna make some money, queen, in a real way. And when she's like, I don't know, he's like, do it! And he runs the fade. I'm just speculating. But it seems unlikely he's the one pimp panderer that's all carrot and 0 stick. But sure, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So anyway, I guess Aaron's hoe, if you will, rolled on him and he ended up doing 5 years in prison.
So I'm soaking up the game and I'm learning through trial and error with bruh, but I was just misstepping. And in the game, we call that mispimping. No, you feel me?
And she told on you.
She told on me. She told on me.
If the bitch tell on you.
If the bitch tell, facts.
Okay, so
told on me, right?
Yeah.
Hey, baby, shout out to you, though. Snitch tactics, though.
So Aaron's had a tough life, but he's a glass half full kind of guy.
Baby, I appreciate you telling on me.
Ungrateful bitches, man.
I'm grateful. So if I could go back in time and change her telling, I wouldn't want it.
Yeah.
Because prior to me going to prison, right?
Yeah.
I could not converse about financial literacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could not converse about credit repair. I could not converse about religion. I couldn't converse about nothing other than gang banging.
So now after doing 5 years in the slammer, Aaron comes out and he's got a new lease in life. He can philosophize about esoteric topics like credit repair. He gets licensed as a plumber and starts dating this Mexican chick, Pretty Girl Glaze. Now, this was by all accounts a very unhealthy relationship that deeply impacted Aaron, but we'll get back to that in a second. Let's talk about the start of Aaron's fame. So, if you haven't been following the ascent of Aaron the Plumber, he first literally popped into our lives on a Pop the Balloon show with Arlette Amuli. It's a dating show with a very simple concept. If you like what you see, keep your balloon. If you don't, pop it.
Hello, welcome in. Come on a little closer. Come on in. Don't be scared.
Clips from Aaron's 8-minute appearance on that show were going super viral because he cannot handle rejection. At all. If you watch this show, you know it's kind of a humbling experience for most people. Lots of balloons get popped, lots of hearts get broken, lots of people go home alone. Aaron comes on the show hot. He becomes immediately defensive and abrasive just because a couple of balloons got popped.
My eyes are up here, baby. Are you looking at the tattoo?
No, I'm looking at the hair on your arms. You know, women I deal with, they don't have hair on their arms.
Don't do too much.
Hey, I'm just being honest,
Don't do
Queen.
too much.
You know, I don't like that. That's all I was looking at. You trying to say if I'm looking at particular body parts,
you just wasn't looking at my eyes.
What it is.
That's
no, I was
all
looking at the hair on your
Anyways.
My name is Jacqueline. I'm 25. I popped because I have hair on my arms.
arms. Hey, Just because you got hair on your arms, that's okay though, Queen. You look phenomenal though.
Thank you.
You know, she ain't fit to my liking. She ain't even fit to. Hey, excuse me, Queen. I'm talking to this woman right here. But yeah, can y'all give her balloon back though?
She don't want it.
Yeah, do you want your balloon back, Queen? We're not talking to you, sweetheart.
Okay.
You already been. I already let you know. I'm not interested in. You got more hair on your arms than me, baby.
Aaron has this amazing ability to make queen sound like a derogatory term. Not gonna lie, it kind of feels like we saw both pimp and panderer in that little segment. Pink dress was getting the sweet treatment, but red halter top was asking for the glove. Anyway, those were the highlights, but his segment is ridiculous. He's just doing battle with the ladies the entire time. And he keeps doing this creepy, wide-eyed, staring smile, and it's just so bizarre and entertaining.
You kind of look like a Ninja Turtle. You're not that cute. You need to relax. You stocky as hell.
Well, let me say this, Queen. I'm a licensed plumber.
I do real estate and property management.
I live downtown.
So what you do ain't
I live
nothing compared to
downtown.
me.
I stay by myself, Queen. You know, and you're not even qualified to be even
You
dealing
say
with
everybody
me.
not qualified.
You definitely not. You know, if anything, it was one of these two. I wasn't even looking your way. You
And the
ain't
one
my
that you
type.
wanted popped
If I
up
seen, that's fine.
So what?
That is totally fine.
Okay.
But one thing about me, I could pull 100,000 on the bank. Can you do the same?
Get this
yeah,
man
you can't
off
do
camera.
that. You can't do that though, baby.
This is great foreshadowing because Aaron would later land himself in a lot of trouble for pulling said money out the bank. Also, he actually pulled from his episode of Pop the Balloon, but unsurprisingly, it didn't go very far because she was not qualified. So then, of course, reality TV networks are looking at this guy and they're like, here's a mensch in our industry. And he gets cast on this show 2 ways with Erica Mena. She's this video vixen for Chris Brown and Akon who stars in Love and Hip Hop, and she's bisexual, so the show has this twist where there's men and women and even a trans lady who are trying to date her. Hence the name 2 Ways. Now, this show is really trashy. Think Bad Girls Club meets The Bachelorette. But unlike The Bachelorette, people are barely focused on the prize, i.e. Erica. Instead, they're popping off on each other and running fades everywhere. So obviously, we know whose time it is to shine.
What were you in? What was hip hop? Bro, don't be doing all that shit. I'll turn up on doing all that shit. I'll turn up on both of y'all. Right what does that mean? What does that even fucking mean, bro? It can mean whatever. It can mean whatever. I'm just asking you a question, bro.
Barely 5 minutes into the show, Aaron runs the fade with these white twins who are a little out of place on the tour bus.
I don't like your whole tone, bro.
So that was too much for these Abercrombie twins from Ohio, and they just left the show.
I'm not trying to fight anybody. You have a shiner.
I do?
Yeah.
By the way, this is how you know the show isn't one of these hyper-scripted reality shows, because multiple cast members just leave on the first episode. They're just like, I didn't know it was gonna be like this, and they just bounce. But Aaron stays, and within minutes, he's picking a fight with this trans lady named Berea, just because she called him Queen.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Queen. What's up?
How'd you
What's
sleep?
up, sir? Who you talking to?
Hey, Queen.
Talking about some Queen.
You gonna be yourself today? Aaron, you keep calling me a man.
You gotta bring the man out. Now the man's here.
Did you care about that
You
when
a
you were
man,
trying
right?
to kiss me?
Trying to kiss you? Yeah,
For a guy who says Queen with a hard R, he's pretty goddamn sensitive when it's thrown back at him. Some people are saying that Aaron won this fight, but there's no winning a fight with a trans lady, especially when you're a brolic Ninja Turtle. Even Aaron would later admit that whooping on poor Berea wasn't the best look, and he apologized to her, to his credit. So then Aaron gets in a fight with this corn star, Jay Hefner. Apparently, Jay was exchanging socials with some girls in the hotel lobby and possibly taking them to his room. So Aaron delivers the classic reality show beef starting line, "You're not here for the right reasons." Jay tells Aaron he's lying, and them's fighting words, so they get active, and Aaron gets absolutely demolished. Now, we can't show you the fight, but we can show you the lead up, and it's pretty great.
Promiscuous. You know, while I'm waiting here, brother, while we was in that hotel line, I did see you exchange numbers with a female, you know?
Yeah.
And y'all did go back up to the hotel room, man.
Yeah.
You know, so how'd you hear for Erica?
We was getting YouTube content.
YouTube content.
Yeah.
Come on now. You was trying to get jiggy, man. Come on now.
Come on, no, sir.
Man, you'll hump anything moving, man. You're a nasty
So we went to my room.
You want me a liar?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get down, bro. Get down right now.
Shit, that's all you really had to say. Up, and away.
Nigga, I ain't never been up.
Now, while a lesser reality network might try to stop the physical violence to not risk the legal liabilities, Zeus is just built different. Security was barely trying to get in the middle of the fight, and they just let him brawl, and it was short-lived and one-sided, with Aaron getting put to the ground in brutal fashion pretty quickly. Aaron is clearly feeling extremely emasculated after that fight, and he tries to get back at Jay multiple times and accidentally punches Berea again. That night, Aaron cannot sleep because his machista can't handle losing the fight. He's up in the wee hours yelling for Jay to come fight him, not letting security sleep because he can't handle so decisively losing a fight on national TV. Side note, Aaron and Jay are these massive guys, and the security makes them look tiny. Hopefully they're well paid because they were working hard on this show. So to calm Aaron down, they give him what looks like a blunt and whiskey, and all that bravado just comes crumbling down, and all of a sudden he's just blubbering like a baby. He then does the funniest reality TV confessional of all time, where he's just crying the entire time but also trying to act tough. He couldn't get his rematch with Jay, so he swung below the belt and went for Jay's professional career.
If you look this thing up right now, you can see the name all over the internet. But if you look me up, what can you see? You can't see him. Nigga, you ain't sticking that stick up in the air, nigga, in a real way. But honestly, pride is I never been no coward. Any know me that tell you I ain't backing down for nigga, you beat my ass 10 times, nigga. I'm gonna get back up.
The Aaron the Plumber Jay Hefner feud would actually take a bizarre turn, and we'll get back to this in a second. Eventually, Aaron would get kicked off the show because he picked a fight with Erica Mena. It was during an elimination, and she was actually choosing him to go on to the next episode, but she did it a little too spicy. She was chastising Aaron for all his antics, and she gave him a little love tap on the cheek, and that was just too much for Aaron. He tells her she's degraded him and has one last magnificent crash out and just exits the show. He would later say Erica Mena assaulted him, which is a bit of a stretch in my opinion, especially after he spent the whole night trying to run the fade with Jay.
I was slapped by Erica Mena on set. She is in fact racist towards black men and women, and I left the show. I never got eliminated.
Now for the crazy twist. In September 2024, just weeks after his altercation with Aaron, Jay Hefner was shot while trying to defend his cousin in a bar fight in Lincoln, Nebraska, and succumbed to his injuries. He was only 24. The timing on this is wild. And Aaron's take on this was equally out of left field. He actually thinks Zeus Network is offing its talent on some Illuminati type shit.
Somebody's definitely been following me. Mysterious stuff has been happening. Somebody mysteriously drove their car through my living room. Zeus is demonic. This is an attack on blue collar workers. That's exactly why they're trying to emasculate me. It doesn't even matter. This is deeper than who won the fight between me and Jay Hefner. That doesn't even matter anymore. What matters is, I'm telling y'all, I feel like my life is in danger.
As sad as it is that Zeus contestants are passing before their time, it seems far more likely that Zeus is just a trashy reality TV network that specifically seeks out talent that is prone to popping off and endangering their own lives, because it makes for good TV. Also, Zeus has an annual revenue of $2 million, and its owner, Lemuel Plumber,
Aaron the Plumber. Lemuel Plumber. Maybe it is the Illuminati.
Lemuel Plumber, the founder and CEO of Zeus, is worth $5 million, which might seem a lot to Aaron as a 100,000-aire, but if we're talking Illuminati coming after the working class, you're gonna have to tack several more zeros onto that bank account. So after his Pop the Balloon, Aaron got very famous / notorious very quickly. According to Aaron, he lost his plumbing job because 500 people called him up complaining about his behavior on Pop the Balloon. So the plumbing company apparently fired him. So Aaron appeals to his fans for help, saying he lost his job and starts a GoFundMe for $15,000. Enter this YouTuber named Mediocre Tutorials, or MTR. Think of MTR as Fresh and Fit Light. MTR hits up Aaron and he wants to support him, so he has him on his show, interviews him, and defends Aaron in the face of a lot of pushback from his own fans.
My G, first off, salute to you, for answering, the call when I hit you up. At first, it took you a little second to get a hold of my message. I'm like, damn, do I got hairy? Like, why this guy not, he's not responding to me?
It does seem like MTR gave Aaron a fair shake, despite a lot of pushback from his fans who felt Aaron was a scammer. There was a lot of unsavory stuff being brought up about Aaron at this time. Re-enter Pretty Girl Glaze, Aaron's Mexican ex who came out of the woodwork to expose him. Now, anytime someone gets quick fame and people from their personal life come out with the exposés, there has to be a little skepticism until we understand those people's intentions. And this lady has some pretty serious allegations. But as we're about to see, a lot of what she says seems credible. She basically said Aaron was a stereotypical crazy jealous ex who would stalk her, track her whereabouts, show up at her work uninvited because he thought she was cheating.
He'd call me like, what are you doing outside? Who are you messing with at work? Why aren't you working? Like, that controlling, right? Then he starts doing pop-ups at my job, and it got so bad because he would show up in his work truck while he's supposed to be at work at my job that my supervisor had to keep watching me. We had to basically, like, everybody had to walk me to my car after work to make sure that I made it. And then he pops up at my job like, don't break up with me, don't do this, like, I'll change. I thought I was gonna catch you doing something. And I was like, how did you know I was outside, right? He said, I put my extra phone tracking you in your car and I left it on record because I was expecting to record you doing something, as in cheating on me or like messing around in your car. And I was like, I was done.
Aaron's response to this is a trip, dude. First he denied it outright, and then he slowly flip-flops into being like, yeah, you know what? It's 100% true, I did do that.
Is it true that you put a smartphone in the car and you press the record button and just threw it back in there?
No.
Okay, blatantly. She's just making that up out of thin air.
Yes. She's making that up. Okay.
Come on. Let's talk about it.
I'm trying to see how I can answer this. All right. I did. I had a phone. Man, I don't know how to answer this, honestly. I don't know how to answer this. But no, I didn't put no smartphone. I did have another iPhone that was in her car. I have two phones, okay?
Aaron.
No, listen. Let me break it down to you. I had two phones. One phone I do plumbing with, right? The other phone is my personal phone. I did leave the phone. I'm trying to answer this without sounding like a creep. So I'm trying to choose my words carefully, because they're gonna crucify me. So don't think nothing. But I had another phone. Okay, I did plumbing services with this phone. The location was on this phone. Now I'm in and out of her car all the time. I did know that the location was on the phone. Yeah, I always got location on both of my phones. But that's how I was finding out she was driving around too. Yeah.
So she's not lying.
Okay, yes. Okay, I lied to her. I told her I did an airdrop and left the phone in there, but I don't even know how to do an airdrop. But honestly, yes, the phone location, my location was on. I know she was cheating on me and stuff, so I did. If it sounds crazy, then fuck it, man. Whatever.
Okay, alright, now at least we're getting somewhere. At least he told the truth in the end. But it kind of gives you a blueprint for how he operates, right? He'll tell a lie first to see if he can get away with it, and then he might reveal the truth if you press him hard enough. I'm sure you know someone like that in your personal life. Maybe it's you.
I was in love, man. It sound like a simp, whatever, man. I was in love. That's what happened.
Now, it's still unclear if this lady actually cheated. Aaron said he had receipts, but they weren't hard receipts. It definitely seems within the realm of possibility, but it's just as possible that Aaron's paranoid and crazy. Either way, this cheating incident made a huge impact on Aaron's life. In fact, just a few days ago, Aaron released a music video titled Emotionally Unstable. In the song, Aaron's doing like a King Von thing. He's telling a dark story through the music. It's basically about a guy who gets cheated on. See if you can spot the similarities here.
I confront the bitch like what the going on. She said you're insecure. Why you going through my phone? Insecure cause I caught you doing a hawk to some that I taught you. I loved you and he bought you.
As you can see, the girl in the music video looks a lot like his ex. Very interesting casting choice, Mr. Aaron the Plumber. And what's with this blood all over the mattress? And then at the end of the song, he pulls out the gat and...
Yeah, I finally got enough.
Pretty disturbing for a lot of different reasons. Not the least of which is that this ex has accused him of stalking her and worse. Another allegation that got brought up is that Aaron might have a child that he's refusing to acknowledge, and apparently it's been this whole thing where the mom's been begging him to take a DNA test, but he just refuses. Here's how Aaron handled that one.
I'm gonna say this. If I have a child out there, summon him.
Okay.
Summon him. Bring him here. Where's the mother? I haven't heard anything about anything in years. You know, if there's any kids out there that people are stating that are mine, you know, summon him and rectify that matter. Let's clear all the smoke that's out there. If there is a child out there that is mine, summon him, please.
If indeed I sired a child, summon him. Summon said child.
Okay, so the child was summoned. I mean, that's gotta be his kid, dude. That's an adorable baby turtle. In fact, according to MTR, the child's birth certificate shows that he was named after Aaron. So it looks like the mom's consistent and has the receipts, which seems to suggest she's telling the truth. This would be a pretty long con for her to try to pull off. Now, this guy MTR, he defends Aaron through all of that. He even wants to plug Aaron's GoFundMe. But he tells Aaron, before I do that, can you show me some proof that you actually got fired from your plumbing job? And this is where things go completely south. It sounds like Aaron tells him he needs to talk to a lawyer first before he reveals the name of the plumbing company because he doesn't want them suing him. Meanwhile, MTR's fans are pressuring him for the receipts. At the same time, Aaron's celebrating his birthday by making it rain at the club. So people start complaining to GoFundMe that he's misusing the money, and the premise of the GoFundMe was false because there's no evidence he even got fired from any plumbing job in the first place. So then Aaron tells us GoFundMe locked his account. He goes, "Are you happy now?" And he posted screenshots of his account being locked with the caption, "Black man can't celebrate his birthday now? How you gonna tell me how to spend my money?" I'm crying, dude. This guy is such a lunatic. You have a sob story GoFundMe claiming the money will be used for, quote, humanitarian work. So no, man, you can't celebrate your birthday by making it rain at the club. Making it rain is a privilege. And if you do, don't be surprised if your account gets locked. So now the receipts are coming hard and fast, and it's not looking great for Aaron. MTR pretty much flip-flops on Aaron and links up with this one account called Queen of Accountability, who's going hard in the paint, digging up all sorts of alleged stuff about Aaron, saying he wasn't really a licensed plumber, saying that he faked the stuff about getting fired from his plumbing job.
If you truly got fired and they called this company 500 times, that would mean they knew the company's information.
Yeah.
May I ask you a question? Have you seen the name of this company floating around, sir?
Nope.
And then MTR got his hands on way more serious accusations, a bunch of police incident reports, text receipts from exes alleging that he was threatening them with releasing porn videos, destroying their property, even an SA allegation. Now we should say here, it's unclear how much of this is factual, but all of it tracks with Aaron's reality TV record of getting confrontational over nothing, popping off, and then running fades. It makes sense that the same person who makes that hilarious clippable content is also a psycho in his home life. A couple months later, Aaron would address the entire MTR saga on No Jumper, and you can probably predict what angle he took.
MTR, put up 20 bands. I want to squab you on cam. In a real motherfucking way. You a man, I'm a man, I stand on business, Brodesky. Put up 20,000. They say I'm broke, right? The biggest. Put up 20,000. Get it on camera, though. I will fly you out. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do, we can do the shit on No Jumper.
Beef, though? What's your beef, man?
The beef is use a hoe.
Aaron's doubling down. He would contend that he didn't even touch the GoFundMe money because it was locked. And that night at the club, he was making it rain with his own savings.
God strike me dead right now if I'm fucking lying. You feel me? That was my pay.
Gotcha.
That wasn't no GoFundMe. I didn't have access to it. Why? Because Queen and she had her whole platform reporting the GoFundMe.
Now, I think the point that Aaron's kind of missing here is that it's not like people are tracking each individual GoFundMe dollar like,
hey, these specific bills are earmarked for making it rain purposes.
My guess is that the issue people have is that he started a sob story GoFundMe when he had a bunch of money saved up. very possibly, a lot of the people who donated can't afford to make it rain at the club on their birthday. So you can see why they'd be a little miffed to essentially be paying for Aaron to do that. But Aaron's most out-of-pocket response was to the SA allegation.
Now, you seen the woman said I raped her, but I could pull out my phone right now and show you her performing these acts on me willingly. In a real motherfucking way, though.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, sure, right? Because like, we do want to clarify, though. Like, a woman can't consent on a Monday, but then not consent on a Tuesday. Again, it's rare, right?
Hey,
but there is times when,
if you see the video,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God 3000.
Dude, look at him reach for his phone here. This is without a doubt the most unhinged response to an SA allegation I've seen since Mike Tyson back in the day.
I used to hate her guts, and she put me in that state where I don't know. I really wish I did now, but now I really do want to mama. I know you don't like to hear that, but
no, I don't like to hear that.
Given everything we know about Aaron, I'm inclined to believe the women. But I can also see a world where Aaron himself truly believes he did nothing wrong. One thing's for sure, he ain't nervous. Okay, so now let's fast forward to where we are today. Most recently, Aaron got into it with Ray J's security guard. Both Ray J and Whack 100 got involved and it got really messy. There are a few different versions of the story, and the source for many of them is Aaron himself. He just meanders and sometimes his facts conflict, but we're gonna try and cobble the story together from different accounts. So first of all, Aaron's hanging out with Ray J discussing business? Who knows what that means? Could be a reality show, could be something nefarious, but it kind of just sounds like they were smashing 304s together.
You know what I'm saying? Ray J getting mad at me because I don't want to buy no. Bro, I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, I ain't gonna say I don't like them, but I'm not paying for none.
Nobody does, Bradesky. So yeah, it looks like Aaron and Ray J are squabbling over that payment. But then, Aaron also gets into it with the security guard. Here's what happened. Aaron says that he was with a lady, cracking her back, as he puts it. Now, Aaron has a very voracious libido, and just the 1 304, well, that's just not enough for him. He wants another one. So he goes downstairs to look for his cell phone charger, and he can't find it. So he gets into it with a security guard, this monster of a man. He's like, "Where's my charger?" And the guard gets offended because according to witnesses, Aaron's pretty lit and his tone is accusatory.
I was cracking her back upstairs. She wasn't enough for me, so I went downstairs. I said, "Where's my charger?" This nigga said, "Bitch, you got money, you steal your charger." Nigga, who's the
So then things pop off from there. They're squaring up. Aaron's like, "Have you not seen my previous work? I run the Fade." And the security guard's like, "I'm twice your size, dude. What's wrong with you?" And it's quite literally an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
Otherwise, what? Otherwise, what? What you gonna do? Get off. Exactly. Just get shoot me. Hell, that's shit. Get off. Get off. Do something. Get off. Do something. Get. I'm testing your motherfucking gangster. You gangster. Get off.
But then, Aaron turns his back for a second and security hawks a loogie at him.
Ooh.
Now, you would think this ultimate disrespect would escalate into the Fade, but it did not. Aaron explains to us that he knew that he was outnumbered and that these guys had pew-pews, so he did the smart thing and left. But in classic Aaron the Plumber fashion, he was mouthing off all the way out.
I'm leaving, and I told nigga, I told all the way out. I told you, you don't know who you just spit on.
Indeed, he did not know who he had just spit on, but he was about to find out. After he left, Aaron had some words for Ray J, basically trashing him and saying his security guards were behaving unprofessionally by getting into it with him. Even though he's screaming in the guy's face, and by all accounts, Aaron was pretty hammered. But self-reflection is not really his strong suit. So then, Whack 100 gets involved. Whack always has Ray J's back. If you remember, when Diddy's sons pressed Ray J for making comments about their dad, Whack told him to back off in a real way.
You know, we ain't gonna deal with it like it's Diddy, kid. We're gonna deal with you like you grown men.
But Whack was nowhere near that poised with Aaron. He called Aaron up, furious, and threatened him and apparently his mom too. In the following clip, it looks like Whack caught Aaron mid-nap because our boy is the tamest we've ever seen him. But hilariously, he's still politely trying to run the Fade with Whack.
I'm just trying to get a fade. I'm just trying to get a fade. Now Talking about killing me.
You want a fame, blood? Where you at? Cause you doing a lot of whistling like you running something, homie.
Nigga, I'm coming to you. Came to you.
We gonna give you your fame. Where you at?
Ain't finna meet you now, nigga. You talking about kill?
Give you your fame, cause you whooping it. You gonna humble yourself, or we gonna get to what you talking about.
So Aaron gets out of bed, gets his mojo back, and makes a response video.
Need that. Dead homies. I need that. Line up the fade. Wack gonna go first. Donut, nigga, you gonna go second. Ray J, you gonna go third. And if don't line up the fade, I'm going to the police. Dead homies, I don't give a what you gotta say. Oh, he's snitching, he wooed you, he threatening my mom. You, that shit got nothing to do with my mom, nigga.
Yeah, call the popo, my guy. That's exactly what I would do. Doesn't make you any less gangster, Brodesky. You do wonder if Aaron's ever gonna get tired of running fades. I mean, just before this whole Ray J Whack 100 fiasco, he was on another YouTube show where 20 women vie for his heart, finally getting the respect he deserves. But then this one chick comes on, and she was not qualified, you feel me? She had a stank attitude and she was just trying to promote her clothing line. She even done brought her man with her, so obviously, he caught the fade.
You sexy as hell.
You need to get up and talk to me, though.
Attitude.
I do. Because why the f sitting down? That's why I don't like men right now. I need to know a little bit more about you. Where would you take me? Where would you even take me on the first date? Yes. Because you look like you look like you
I'll
don't even know.
take you to a 5-star restaurant.
What type of 5-star restaurant?
Your beautiful ass. You deserve to go to a French restaurant with me.
But what type of French restaurant?
You ever heard of Jacques in the Box?
I'm not even here for you. I'm here to promote my business, but I really got a nigga though.
Yeah.
And he
If
can
you got a
why
you here for the video?
He can afford the 5-star restaurant that you claim.
If you got a
he can afford all that.
Yo!
Like, we really should
Bro, what the hell, bro? Y'all don't even need no security.
Ain't nobody worried about none of that.
Come on.
Let's just go. No.
She ain't talking about nothing. You ain't talking about. Who ain't?
Come on, no.
You ain't talking about. You ain't talking about.
What the fuck? Still broke,
Come on.
Another classic. Now, after that, you'd probably think, that's a wrap. Filming is done. But Aaron's a professional. He can be running the fade 1 minute and dishing pearls of wisdom to the ladies literally a few minutes later.
Women are like cats and men are like dogs.
Meaning what?
You know, how many cats have you seen in your life? You'll never see a cat.
But
you know, that's how women are. You'll never see them. They out there for surely doing it. A dog gonna right in front of you.
Alright, let's land this place. Say what you will about Aaron, he consistently runs the fade. And in a world full of lies and deception, it's nice to have someone authentic we can rely on for consistency. Sure, it's consistently acting out of pocket and running the fade, but at least you know what to expect. Lies, antics, and fades. And that's why, in spite of all evidence to the contrary, a lot of people love this dude. It's hard not to like him, even though he's objectively out of his flippin' mind. The caveat to that is, if you're dealing with him in person, you gotta mind your P's and Q's. Maybe just say hi and bye. Keep in mind he has a history of effing people over and then running the fade. Not a great role model. But I'm curious to know your thoughts after seeing all the evidence in chronological order and hearing him speak on all of his own antics. Folks, we're going to be doing a lot of these sort of longer episodes, so if you like it, let us know in the comments, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, all that stuff. How'd I do on the Aaron look? Let us know in the comments.